Hello tubers, this is Kurt with Edibles and Exotics coming to you from sunny Mesa, Arizona. And today we're going to do a little update video on the blackjack fig that we air layered back on January 22nd of 2023. So it's now 2 months and about 2 weeks later. And as you can see, it's starting to bud out and everything. We have no fruit yet on this one. This one usually produces fruit a little later in the summer. So let's get you in a little bit closer and we'll open this guy up and then we're gonna more than likely pot it up. All right guys, so this thing definitely looks rooted out. I didn't have any clear rooting pods, so I used a black one, but I'm going to swing you around here and you'll be able to see there's actually roots forming outside of the rooting pod. So that tells me that there's plenty of roots inside the rooting pod. So I hope you can see it in the video, but there's all roots coming out. So guys, it's been, like I said, about 2.5 months. This was started in the winter, our winter, which is, you know, end of January. It's about the coldest it's going to get here in Mesa, and 2.5 months is not too bad. So now what we're going to do is we're going to chop this guy off with a pair of snippers, and we're going to go over and we're going to fill up a grow bag. I got an 18-inch grow bag ready for it. We're going to fill that up. We're going to get him in. We're going to water him in, and we're going to keep him in complete shade until he really starts showing some signs of growth, and then we know he's well rooted out, and we could start transitioning it into full sun so it can really start putting on some size. So let's get started here. All right, so this is a super easy process, guys. Just hold the branch, get close to the rooting pod, and cut it off. That's it. We now have our air layered tree. All right guys, so I got my grow bag prepared. It's an 18-inch grow bag. I'm filled up right to here with soil, so right about there. I stuck it in there just to test it out. It seems to be a good height. I've gone ahead and I've removed all the zip ties. The only thing holding it together is this little snap. So let's unsnap this guy. All right, so we got it unsnapped. Let's peel it open and see what we got. All right, there we go, guys. That's what it looks like right there. I thought there'd be actually a little bit more root formation on there, but there's enough. It should survive. So basically all we're gonna do with this is we're just gonna put it in this pot deep enough where it's gonna stay upright by itself. We might stake this guy a little bit straighter, put maybe 3 stakes in there just to hold it, because you don't want it twisting in the wind. You know, this guy's hanging. If it twists, it could break all those roots off the base there. So let's get started on this. All right, we got it all potted up. With figs and mulberries in particular, you could plant them a little bit deeper and cover the stem. It's not going to rot it out. These guys are not prone to collar rot. It'll probably start to root out wherever the soil level is and down. So you might even grow more roots that way, but you don't want to put these air layers in just on the top, because like I said, if they bend in the wind, twist in the wind, it could snap your roots off, or if someone walks into it, or, you know, you just want to be safe. This guy is actually in there pretty good, but I think we're still going to put a stake in the side and run it up and just tie it around here. And then once it gets rooted out, then we'll try to start pulling this a little more upright, so it's not a little question mark shaped thing. The next step is going to be to add some sugarcane mulch. So I use my my sugarcane plants mainly for shade and mulch and stuff like that. So I don't really use them for food as much. We do eat them. Sometimes in December we'll munch on them a little bit, but for the most part I use it to help the plant nursery. So this is a bucket of my sugarcane mulch. I basically just take my sugarcane plants, I chop them down pretty close to the base to thin them out, and just let them dry out in the sun for about a week or so, and then I run them through my chipper shredder, and I wind up with what almost looks like hay, but it smells kind of like sugar, which is kind of weird. But it works really good for these grow bags or regular pots just in general to keep the evaporation down so you don't wind up with salt buildup in your plants. And you don't have to worry as much when you water them the night before and it's 115 degrees all day, and you come home, they won't be dried out because this mulch keeps the water from evaporating out of the top. Especially plastic nursery pots, these grow bags, I usually group them together so there's still airflow around them in the summer, but they are very close to each other, so they retain a lot of moisture. They're usually sitting on mulch, wood chip mulch, and sometimes I'll bury them a little bit just to give them just a little bit more added moisture. So that's basically how I pot up my air layers. All right, don't rush into it, guys. Like I said, this was 2.5 months and it was in the winter. In the summer, it could take as little as 2 weeks to a month to get them to root out, depending on what you're trying to root out via an air layer. But this guy, like I said, we're going to water him in. We're going to just do a little staking just so he doesn't twist or bend in the wind. And we're going to keep him in complete shade. All right, that's very important, guys. You don't even want morning sun. You want it shade all day long. All right, keep them outside, shade all day long. Make sure this doesn't dry out. And probably in another month or so, it should start really rooting out in the bag and putting on top growth. I'll do another update video on that to show you guys when it's actually rooted out without having to dig into the pot and try to figure it out. But it's mainly when the top starts actually growing again. Right now, it's probably going to sit like this for a month and do absolutely nothing. In about a month, like I said, it should start putting out some growth on the top, and then we will know for sure, 100% for sure, that it's rooted out. And we'll probably give it another month or two before we try to sell it or give it away, because you do not want to give or sell a newly rooted plant to someone, because if they put it in the sun, it's probably going to kill it. So, you know, here at my nursery, I do not sell anything that I know will not survive. I don't want people buying plants, killing them, and then calling me back, or even my friends and family. I make sure, you know, I tell people, sorry, it's not ready, and they're just gonna have to wait. And usually they're pretty appreciative of that, of the honesty. So I hope you like this video, guys. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, share, hit the bell, tell all your friends. And you know, prices have been going up, so this dirt is costing me a lot. This is probably about probably almost close to a half a cubic foot of dirt. So if any of you guys out there are local and you have some dirt you might want to donate to the channel, hit me up in the comment section down below, and maybe we could get together and we can move some dirt. So until the next video, guys, keep growing. All right, so we got this staked up. I put it kind of on an angle. I'm probably going to put another down this side. But one thing I forgot to mention is don't forget to label these, all right? They all kind of look the same if you're doing a bunch of different varieties. Last summer, I started a whole bunch of different ones and I had them separated. And one day I came through and I was cleaning up and I moved them around and I forgot which ones were which. So I got probably about 10 fig trees now that I'm gonna have to figure out what's what. I'm not exactly sure. One of them could be a blackjack, one could be a white Italian, one could be a brown turkey. So just make sure you get some labels. Doesn't matter how you do it, masking tape, plastic labels, whatever, get those on there. And another thing too that I totally forgot to mention is do not fertilize these guys, okay? Let them go for a month or two and they will put on growth just by adding water, all right? If you fertilize them, you may burn them, and once you do that, it may not survive. So give it about probably a month or two before you start adding fertilizer. When you start seeing real vigorous growth, you know it's rooted out. Once the growth starts slowing down, then you could start adding a little bit of fertilizer. So we got this one, blackjack, and then we got our brown turkey, we got a white Italian, and we have one Brunswick that we have to get removed from their trees. They're all rooted out, and get those into bags. And we're going to do the exact same method So if you guys are interested in these, I have some from last year left over, and these guys will probably be ready for sale in somewhere from 2 to 3 months.